What's going on, y'all gamers? Going back here today with your Premier League predictions here in this upcoming match week. It is going into match week. Give me a second. I believe 8. I believe match week 8 is what we're heading into. Big games this week all over the board. First one starts in about 6.5 hours. Not a big game, but a game with a team pushing the top of the table currently. We started off at Luton going up against Tottenham. This one will be played in Luton Stadium, I believe. 4:30 a.m. kickoff for me. I probably will not be up for this one. I will be up for the 7 o'clock games. Probably won't be up for this one. Tottenham, Luton. Tottenham, obviously, we can take a little bit of a look here at them. They obviously are sitting second right now in the Prem, tied with Arsenal. They're at second, both with 17, both 9-point goal differential. But Luton, they're sitting on the other side of things. They're sitting 1 point out of relegation. They're sitting 17. Well, actually, they're tied with Burnley, but they do have them on goal differential. But they're sitting out of relegation currently. They're sitting at 17th, above both Burnley, Bournemouth, and Sheffield United. But Luton, you look at them, they got the draw against Wolves, a Wolves team that beat Man City. We got to keep that in mind. And they're able to pick up a victory against Everton. But for me, still looking at this team, Tottenham, I don't know if they should probably still dominate this game, even though it's away. I think Tottenham should be the ones to win. I'm gonna go with a Tottenham 2-0 victory. I think they will ultimately keep a clean sheet against a somewhat weak Luton Town. Then we get Burnley versus Chelsea. I will more than likely be up for these games. We got both teams. Burnley obviously sitting in relegation at 18. Chelsea sitting at 11 mid-table. Neither team has been all that impressive this season. I keep feeling like I'm saying it with Chelsea. If they're gonna come around, they gotta come around in this game. Let's look at Chelsea's schedule. I said they gotta beat the Bournemouth. I said they had to beat Nottingham Forest. They weren't able to do it, but they have beat Brighton and Fulham recently. So I think Burnley, yet another gimme game. You should win if you're Chelsea, but I would be careful. Burnley has gotten a couple points this season. They obviously have 4. They're sitting at 4 points, but if you're Chelsea, you still got to win. I'm going to go 3-1 to Chelsea, but they need to win this game for them. Everton versus Bournemouth. I don't really know what to do with this because Everton, the team that gave Luton their first win, Bournemouth, they have not looked good at all this season. Two bad teams. Smart person would probably say Everton since it's at home. I'm going to go different. I'm going to give it a draw, a 1-1 draw at Everton. Then we get Fulham and Sheffield United sitting with only 1 point. Fulham sitting at 8, sitting 13th currently. I think this is a game Fulham should expect to win. They should go in there. They should dominate. They should win this game about 2-0. I don't think Sheffield United's got what it takes, if I'm being quite honest. Then we get Manchester United going up against Brentford. Our last 7 a.m. game, and both these teams a little bit underwhelming. Man United sitting at 10th, Brentford sitting at 14th. I'm not saying Brentford's like super underwhelming. I didn't think they're going to finish like top 6, but I thought they'd be around the 8 to 10 range, and they just haven't been that good. They're sitting at 7 points. They're behind Fulham and Forest, and even Crystal Palace. I would not have thought that, to be honest with you. It makes sense with Ivan Toney being out, but I don't know if I would have had all 3 of those teams and also West Ham above them. But Man United, somebody I thought could be pushing top 4, haven't looked to be doing it yet. If they're going to start, they need to do it now. I think we keep saying that when it comes to Man United, this has to be the week. You got to beat Brentford. They haven't been great necessarily keeping clean sheets or anything like that. They did have 2, one against Burnley, one against Palace, but they lost to Palace 1-0. They lost to Galatasaray. They lost to Bayern, obviously. They lost to Tottenham. They get up 2 to Forest. They get up 3 to Arsenal. I think this is a tricky game. Brentford could get a goal or two, but Man United should win. I think we will give them a 3-2 victory there for Manchester United. Then we got Palace versus Forest, both teams sitting mid-table. Palace 9th, Forest 12th. This is going to be a big swing game for the mid-table and really just determine who's got the upper edge here. I do ultimately think Crystal Palace is the better team, and I will go with Crystal Palace to win. Let's go 2-1. Next, we got Sunday's game, 6 a.m. We start off with Brighton and Liverpool. We look at both these teams. Liverpool's sitting 4th. I mean, it feels like Liverpool's struggled this season. They're getting points. Brighton, it feels like they've struggled this season. They're getting points. They're 6th. Big game for both these teams. Could flip things around. Liverpool's sitting at 4th with 16 points. Brighton sitting at 6th with 15. So a victory here for Brighton could be big for them. Could put them in that 4th spot. Make them jump Liverpool early in the season. And hopefully maintain that. Liverpool could gain some distance there from one of those those 5 and 6 teams right there, Villa and Brighton. So this is a big game for both teams, both sides. I think it's obviously going to be a good game. Something's telling me to go Brighton. I'm just going to follow my gut. I'm going to go 2-1 Brighton. Could easily be Liverpool. West Ham versus Newcastle. We got this game. West Ham sitting 7th. Newcastle sitting 8th. Newcastle, they did their thing, believe it or not, against PSG. I haven't had much faith in Newcastle. They haven't looked as good as I would hope, but they did their thing. West Ham, obviously, they've been good this year. I think it being at West Ham gives a little bit of an advantage to West Ham. I'm going to give West Ham a draw against a Newcastle team that's hot right now. They're firing on all cylinders, but I'm going to give it a 2-2 draw. Wolves versus Villa. Wolves, big victory. Big victory. But Aston Villa, I think, will look at that game and realize the mistakes over Man City. And I think Aston Villa will get the job done. 3-1 Villa. And then we get the big game of the week. We got Arsenal, my Arsenal Gunners, going up against Man City. Ooh, that's going to be a big one. It's in the Emirates. It's not in the Etihad. It's in the Emirates, which is great for us. Arsenal, if they're gonna pull one off of Man City, it's gonna be at home. It's got to be at home. It's got to be at home. I don't know if you go on the road to Man City and pull one away. You'd be lucky to get a draw. But this is a big game early in the season. We're sitting 3rd. They're sitting 1st. Obviously, Tottenham is sitting around there too, with goal differential with us. A win at Man City, it might just make us behind Tottenham, but that does get us back ahead of Man City. And I think in the long run, Man City is the bigger threat than Tottenham. So if any chance to get points away from Man City, we have to take. I think we will take it. I think, obviously, there's a lot of problems right now at Arsenal. We have Martinelli down. We got Bukayo Saka down. Obviously, Jurrien Timber is not going to play. Martinelli, Saka, I don't know whether or not they'll be good to go. I've heard that Saka might be cleared. I've heard that Martinelli, I have not heard Martinelli recently. This is about a week ago that I heard that they were trying to get him to get ready for the Man City game. It's going to be real important that they get these guys in. And then obviously on the other side of things, you got De Bruyne. He will be out. You got John Stones. He is out. And then big plus for us right now, there will be no Rodri, as he does have a red card that he will be serving. So Arsenal has a chance here. I mean, obviously, they've played a little bit without De Bruyne anyways this season, but Rodri is not there. He's been big for him so far this season. He's looked solid. You got to take advantage of him being on the red. You got to win. Declan Rice, you need a big performance. You need to create some pressure in the midfield. William Saliba, you're going to have to play physical with Holland. Somebody's going to have to track Phil Foden, Julian Alvarez. Julian Alvarez has been very solid as of late. Gabriel, you're going to have to make big plays defensively. Obviously, Ben White, he's going to need to make big plays defensively. I imagine Zinchenko will be in there. It'll be interesting to see who is in there, though. Up top, I imagine if they can go, we will see Martinelli and Bukayo Saka back in the lineup. And obviously, Gabriel Jesus will be the guy up top. If they can't go, I do expect us to move Gabby to one of the wing positions, probably right wing, and put Nketiah up top. And then a left wing would probably go to Reece Nelson. But we will see. We will see what ends up happening. We'll see. It's nerve-wracking going into it. Because there's a lot of unanswered questions when it comes to health with this Arsenal team. This could be a big Aaron Ramsdale game, to be honest with you. This could be a big Aaron Ramsdale game. Could be David Raya. I think you want to go Ramsdale here. Just the environment that it's going to be, Man City coming to the Emirates. You're going to need somebody that has kind of that kick to them, that passion, that absolute love of the game, whereas David Raya isn't necessarily as vocal or anything like that. He's really good at ball placement and all that stuff. He's more of a lead by example kind of guy. I think with this type of environment, you need one of those guys he's just going to go in there and thrive and really feed into the environment, and that is Aaron Ramsdale. I think he needs to be in this game. It's going to be an absolute rocking of the stadium. I can't wait. I'm getting chills thinking of it. It is going to be a big game for both us, Man City, those fans there. It's exciting. I'm going 2-1 to the Arsenal. Let's get it done. Come on, you Gunners. And that's it. That's it for my predictions this week. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.